everybody, welcome to this B1 English listening practice video. You can use this video to practice your listening and comprehension as I speak. So today I'm going to talk about phones. I was talking about this topic the other day and I got to thinking about how important phones are in our everyday lives. So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's go briefly through the history of phones. Even though some basic versions of the telephone have been invented earlier, Alexander Graham Bell is usually credited with the invention since he won the first US patent for it. A patent is a covenant license given to someone who comes up with an idea or an invention. It includes other people from making or selling this invention for a certain number of years. So Alexander Graham Bell received a patent for the telephone in 1876. Prior to that, people couldn't talk over long distances. They could only send messages through telegraph or some other means. You can imagine how revolutionary this invention was, when suddenly people could talk and have their voice heard in a different location. It must have seemed like a really advanced technology at the time, but obviously, cell phones didn't just become common household items overnight. It would be decades before this device became commonplace, and at the turn of the century, there were still a fewer than a million phones in use. One big milestone in the development of phones was the first transcontinental phone call, which was made from New York to San Francisco in 1995. Nowadays, this might seem like a huge feat, but this type of long-distance communication was completely unheard at that time. The telephone was changing the way people thought about communication. Over the next few decades, many more millions of households installed landlines, and the telephone became the king of communication. Then, fast forward to 1973, and the world saw the introduction to the first cell phone, made by Motorola. But if you're thinking that the cell phone bore any resemblance to today's phone, think again. This first mobile phone was a monster. It definitely couldn't fit in anyone's pocket. Later on, in 1989, the first flip phone appeared on the market. A flip phone is a phone that you open like this, and the type of phone that I have grown up. In 1992, the first text message was sent between phones. Obviously, today, text messages are an essential function of our cell phones, and other people communicate more through messages and than they do through calls. Come to think of it, it seems like people try to avoid calling and instead of send text messages whenever possible. Another cell phone feature that we take for granted nowadays is the camera. The first camera phone came out in Japan in 1999 and later on in the rest of the world. And finally, in 2007, the first iPhone came out, stunning the world with its revolutionary design and touchscreen display. Even though there was already smartphones that existed at that time, the iPhone really brought smartphones onto the scene. After that, other companies followed suit and started releasing smartphone after smartphone. Nowadays, it seems like practically everyone who can afford it has a smartphone. This device has become a necessity in many people's life, and most people spend many hours every week using it. Actually, a lot of people don't even use their computer that much anymore because they can do everything from their phone. If you had told people just a few decades ago about the cell phones of today, they probably wouldn't have believed you. Who knows what type of innovation we might see with phones in the future? I guess we have to wait and see. Okay, now I'm going to ask you 3 questions about today's video. Write your answers in the comment down below. 1. In what year was the first transcontinental phone call made? Which company made the first cell phone? Which important cell phone feature was added in 1992? Remember to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell, and follow us on Instagram. I'll see you next time.